Imagine waking up one day to find out the bank has collapsed or the dollar has lost its worth. How scary is that? You may say it is impossible, but deep inside you know anything can be possible. Looking back to history, we realize how uncertain, complicated, and interwoven the world economic system is. To think that a financial crisis won't ever happen is not true and can't be true. A bank collapse or a dollar crash can happen suddenly and have severe consequences. In this video, we'll cover important issues and actual situations relating to financial readiness as we go through how to survive a bank collapse and the devaluation of the dollar. You can safeguard your funds, assets, and general well-being in uncertain economic times by being aware of the warning signals and taking preventative action. Don't wait for the dollar to collapse. How to spot the early warning signs. Recognizing the warning signs is the first step in prepping for the possible collapse. Remember that warning signs don't always come before the disaster is about to happen. The following signs may indicate a probable financial crisis. High debts. Economic crisis, fiscal management, natural disasters, and wars can be a few reasons a country has many debts. High levels of debt ultimately result in financial instability and collapse. Political instability. It is when a country faces a high degree of uncertainty in the political system. An economic crisis may also be signaled by political unrest. Political upheaval, corruption, and regime change are some examples. Weak economic growth. When the economy is not expanding as per demand, decreases in unemployment and low wages eventually result in a financial crisis. When the government fails to handle the economy effectively, people lose faith. It can have disastrous consequences. Inflation. A phenomenon known as inflation occurs when the costs of goods and services in an economy rise over time. In times of inflation, people must pay more money for the same products, and as a result, money loses some of its buying power. Stock market volatility. For several reasons, stock market volatility may indicate an imminent financial catastrophe. Sharp changes in the stock market may be a sign that investors have lost faith in both the market's constituent firms and the nation's economy. Therefore, they will no longer like to invest, which can result in a decreased economy. Increasing interest rates. A failing economy may be indicated by rising interest rates, affecting firms and people's capacity to repay debts. Don't forget to watch the movie Too Big to Fail to learn more. Protecting your finances in the face of a currency crisis. Now that you know the warning signs, the next sensible thing is to recognize and understand how to protect your investments and money before the disaster happens. The following are some steps you may take to safeguard your funds in bad financial times. Diversify your investments. Instead of investing all your money in one investment, divide it over other asset classes, including stocks, bonds, real estate, and commodities. Investors frequently do this to reduce risk. Invest in tangible assets. Purchasing physical assets like gold, real estate, and other precious metals can help safeguard the money, which can be used in the hour of need. These assets' fundamental value may be maintained even in shifting currency prices. Keep cash on hand. Banks may limit the amount of money you may withdraw during a financial crisis, or they may even close completely. Cash might help you pay bills and purchase needs when banks are closed or not working properly. Use offshore banks. For those who don't know, offshore banks are those outside your country of residence and governed by various banking laws and rules. Utilizing offshore banks can help you diversify your banking alternatives and safeguard your assets if your home country experiences a financial catastrophe. Invest in cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies can be a great way to save you from a financial crisis. Cryptocurrencies are not controlled by any one governmental or economic entity and are said to have a decentralized system. They may be helpful in a situation when the established financial system is unstable because of this quality. Prepare for a barter economy. Planning for a barter economy during a financial crisis when conventional currencies may lose their value could be wise. Exchanging products or services directly without utilizing money as a transaction method is known as bartering. When money is tight or losing value, This might be useful for getting essential products or services. Alternative forms of currencies in times of crisis. When the banks collapse, it's important to be aware of alternative forms of currency that you can use. Here are some alternative currencies to consider that may be discussed above in detail, but note the following as alternative forms of currencies. Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual money that runs on a decentralized network called a blockchain and employ cryptography for security. Gold and other precious metals. Gold has been used as a currency for thousands of years and retains its value even during economic instability. Other foreign currencies. The dollar's depreciation can be hedged against by holding foreign currencies. Did you know that the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen are the two currencies regarded as safe haven assets? It does, however, entail risk and necessitates familiarity with foreign exchange rates. Local currencies. Some communities have their local currencies that can be used to buy goods and services within that community. Building resilience. Tips for prepping your home and family for economic instability. Now that you are safe from homelessness and saving enough for such a crisis, the next thing to focus on is how you will care for your family and loved ones during economic instability. Remember that resources run out very soon in such situations as COVID, and you must be prepared. Need help figuring out what to do? Keep watching. Stock up on essentials. The necessities, including food, water, medicines, and hygiene products, might be constrained during economic turmoil. Keeping enough of the basics supplied in your storeroom is a good idea. Doing so may protect your family's access to essentials while preventing shortages and price hikes. Learn basic survival skills. In such circumstances, learning fundamental survival skills like first aid, self-defense, and gardening might be crucial. These talents can make you more independent and less dependent on other resources. For instance, acquiring the skills to cultivate your own food can enable you to cut costs and guarantee that you have access to fresh produce even in times of emergency. You could read the SAS Survival Handbook to learn basic survival easily. Reduce expenses. Money might seem tight during an economic crisis, so it's important to prioritize spending on necessities and reduce spending on extras. This can help you save money and extend the life of your resources. COVID-19 showed the importance of it. Resources run out, and people kept going at the same pace, ultimately losing jobs, resulting in needing more money. Develop a support network. It is essential to create a network of friends, family, and neighbors who can aid one another in times of need. This might involve supporting one another with necessary duties and sharing resources, knowledge, and talents. Having a support system in place during trying times may provide stability and lessen feelings of loneliness. Ways to barter or trade goods and services in a post-dollar economy. Bartering and exchanging products and services replace cash as the main trade means in a post-dollar economy. Need to know how to barter or where to start? Here's how. Determine your resources and skills. List the resources, skills, and abilities you can trade for products and services. Find a group of people who share your interests. Look for areas or organizations that share your beliefs and interests. During a financial crisis, these groups might offer a network of contacts for commerce and assistance. Set reasonable exchange rates. It is crucial to set fair rates so both sides may profit from the deal. A good exchange rate can be negotiated after establishing the worth of the commodities or services being swapped. Use a website for bartering. To locate people interested in exchanging products and services, visit bartering platforms like Craigslist, FreeCycle, and Barter Only. Preparation, alertness, and flexibility are necessary to survive a bank collapse and a currency fail. While predicting when and if a financial crisis will arise is difficult, being ready for one may make all the difference in the world. You may protect your savings and investments by diversifying your investments, purchasing physical assets, and recognizing alternate forms of money. You may live and prosper in a post-dollar world by learning to barter and trade, and prepping your house and family for potential economic volatility. COVID showed how important it is to be prepared regardless of how good or bad the economy is. Nobody was organized, and many countries faced disastrous effects. So, what are your own ways to survive a bank collapse or dollar crash? Share your thoughts in the comments below.